everybody, welcome back to another episode of NB Bass, and I'm your host Donald Patterson, joining you again for another week. I finally rested up a little bit. It was a long weekend, a lot of fun, as we fished in the New Brunswick Sport Fishing Association Triton Evinrude Smallmouth Series Championship Tournament over the weekend. Before I go any further, as always, thanks go out to Fish Bum Outfitters, Carrot Sticks Rods, Southern Yankee Baits, War Dog Lures, Northern Michigan Outfitters, Hooked on Canadian Angling, and without a doubt, most importantly, after a long, grueling season, my wife and my son. They have definitely been my rock and the ones that allow me to do what I do what I love. So, first off, congratulations to Steve Dowling and Steve McKinnon, your 2016 New Brunswick Sport Fishing Association Triton Evinrude Smallmouth Series champions. Well deserved. Two fine anglers, great guys. Just, I honestly don't think that, the NBSFA could ask for some more deserving champions. Much the same as the Hood brothers were last year. Two quality anglers and two quality people. So congratulations to them. Don't get me wrong, would have been more than happy to win it myself, but if we weren't going to pull it off, I'm quite happy to see two guys that I'm happy to call friends pull off their first ever NBSFA championships. So, and I have a suspicion that it may not be their last, because like I said, two quality anglers, and just great guys. So it's been a roller coaster season for Jason and I. We struggled a lot. We were trying to break out of our comfort zone, fish types of structure, just fish differently than we have in the past, to break out of that comfort zone and not always fall back into the exact same pattern. And I'll say we did so with mixed success, but what was definitely a success was our learning. We learned a lot, and it actually showed through in the championship. We put together a solid weekend, 22.65 pounds of smallmouth over 2 days. Didn't quite scratch our way up into the top 10 the way we had hoped. Excuse me. But pulled off a top 20 finish and a field of 40, I believe there was 47 registered, only 46 teams actually made it. But 46 or 47 teams of some of the best bass anglers in Eastern Canada. I'm not going to complain. Jason and I were both very happy with how our weekend progressed. And I'll give you an idea just how tight that was. I believe we're showing in a tie for 19th. I thought I had counted off that we were in 17th place, but somewhere along the way I must have missed a number or two. I see I got the official stats from the board of directors last night, and we are showing, we're showing in a tie for 19th place. Officially, we get 20th place because the team that we're tied with measured in a bigger single fish for the weekend than what we did. So, either way, top 20 finish for us. Less than 2 pounds separated us in the 19th, 20th position and 10th. It was a tight race. 1 or 2 bites is all the difference that it would have, that was there. 2 more solid bites. We had a couple fish on day 2 that were just pretty much on the 2 pound even mark. If we could have called those out for a couple of 3s, it would have put us up into the top 10. But like I said, very satisfied with our championship performance, especially after such a roller coaster season. But without a doubt, we learned a lot of new water. We played with some new techniques, and as I've said before, it's a learning curve. It is without a doubt a learning curve, and it's a curve that we're well aware that we have to suffer through. And I should, before I go any further, before my mouth rambles on for any longer length of time, 2 guys that I have become good friends with over the last year. It all started out with one of the gentlemen buying a rod from me, he posted on a Facebook group here in New Brunswick that he was looking for a bait casting setup, 2-piece for traveling, and this, you know, and I had something that fit the bill. We met, he bought a rod from me, and since then, Jason and I have become really good friends with him and his partner, Bryant Morris, Adam Foster. Boys, I know you listen. Hats off to you. Your rookie season on the NBSFA, and you come in just outside the top 10, just by ounces. By ounces. Boys, hold your heads high. You have past champions, team of the year winners, numerous tournament winners in that top 10 ahead of you. Hold your heads high. Rookies of the year in the New Brunswick Sport Fishing Association, without a shadow of a doubt, stand-up guys. Not only my hat's off to them for what they do on the water. As always, I have to tip my hat to members of the Canadian Forces. So, boys, you serve our country. You do us proud, both on and off the water. So, kudos to you guys for an outstanding season, and I know that you guys turned some heads this year, and you're going to be being watched closely. I think you've got some of the more established teams a little nervous to see some young guns coming up that pulled off a rookie season the way you guys did. So, where to go at the end of a season? Well, the end of a tournament season. There's so much to talk about. Day one in Woodstock, Jason and I explored completely new water. Water we had, actually I shouldn't say that, we fished it for about 20 minutes 2 weeks before. And what we saw, we liked the looks of. And this just comes down to that learning curve I was talking about. We saw something that we liked the looks of, but we didn't have time to explore it thoroughly. And unfortunately, our schedules didn't allow us to get back and pre-fish it properly. So we said, well, it's championship weekend. It's go big or go home. Our other spots produced weight. Not huge weight. There was fish there, but not the quality that we wanted. So what do we do? Well, like I said, it's go big or go home time, crunch time. So we went to this spot that we had fished for a total of 20 minutes and pulled one fish out. And we explored it more thoroughly. It was only a matter of a few minutes from the takeoff location, and within half an hour, 40 minutes of standing up and picking up a rod, we had our limit in the boat, and we just slowly upgraded from there, having 10.45 pounds at the end of day one. Respectable weight, not spectacular, but respectable. Day two, moved to Oromocto. Water's low for this time of year, and low and warm. So our regular spot, which produces really well in the fall, we had a feeling it wasn't going to turn on because the water's still too warm. So what do? You adapt. You use what you've learned and you say, nope, that's my comfort zone. That's what we've been trying to get away from all year, is we've relied on that comfort zone. So, last minute change of plans. And when I say last minute, I mean it. We had starting number 39 for day two. And as boat number one launched, we still hadn't 100% decided which way we were turning on takeoff. As it turned out, we made a longer run than we normally do. The weather conditions weren't spectacular. Normally we can do the run in about 30 minutes. It took us more like 40. But safety first. We're not going to end up beached on a sandbar or airborne off of somebody's wake that we couldn't see because it was raining and visibility was poor. But within 15-20 minutes of arriving at that first spot, we had a limit in the boat. We had a solid limit in the boat. And this is where our plans took a little bit of a turn. But it's not a turn that I will ever regret. We had planned on staying in a downriver, in that vicinity of our first spot. You know, within a few miles of there, we had half a dozen different spots we intended to fish. Well, late morning, we get a phone call. Another competitor, another friend of ours, blown motor on his boat just a mile or two upriver from where we were sitting. They have a solid limit in the boat, but it's early. They know they're going to run batteries down. They know they're going to do, you know, it's going to be a hard day for them. They can't fish all day on trolling motor. They're just too far away from the launch. So we have a decision to make. Do we exercise sportsmanship and be fair to them, get them and their fish back to launch safely so they can weigh in and get credit for what they've accomplished for the day and then deal with their boat issues? Or do we say, oh yeah, we'll take you up, but we're going to make you sit in your broke down boat all day and we'll pick you up just before we go back? And we opted to, in my opinion, we made the right decision. We picked them up, or one of the members of their team up, and their fish, and we ran them right straight back to the takeoff point so they could weigh in. Now, did it cost us part of our day? Because we didn't have the time or the fuel to run back to where we wanted to finish out our day. So once again, we adapt. I'll never regret making those decisions. It's called sportsmanship. It doesn't matter if you're fishing in a club tournament or you're a pro fishing at the highest level. When someone has issues, respect, humility, ethics, it all comes into play. And I'd like to think that if we were in that situation, we broke down earlier this year. Now granted, it was right at the end of the day, and there was another boat there that picked us up and brought us in. But early in the day, it was too much stress, in my opinion, to put that number of fish in the live well for the entire afternoon. The gentleman we picked up, Mr. Jeff Wilson, was more than happy to ride with us. You know, he said, just go fishing, boys. I'll just sit here and watch. But to me, it's too hard on the fish to leave them in the live well all day. You know, you're talking 2 limits of fish in the live well. Not 1, 2. That's not, to me, that's not right, and that's why we made the decision we made. And like I said, I'll never regret making that decision. It may have cost us some upgrades. We ran to where we could run with the fuel we had left and the time we had left. We got one small upgrade for a quarter pound, roughly. It put us solidly over the 12-pound mark. Gave us our best limit of the year, like I said, roller coaster season, and gave us a finish that we could walk away with our heads held high. And it also gave us the satisfaction that knowing that not one, but both days of the championship, we were able to help our fellow anglers out, because another team, good friends of ours, broke down on day 1, and we had to bring their fish in for them as well. And I guess if we never win a tournament, if we never win an NBSFA tournament, if we can help people out and let people see that sportsmanship is more important than checks and trophies, then I'm okay with that. Don't get me wrong, that doesn't mean I don't want to win a tournament, but it's about priorities. And to me, just being a good person, and to Jason and I both, being a good person is more important than checks and trophies. So, once again, Steve Dowling, Steve McKinnon, congratulations, boys, well deserved. Thank you for joining me for part 1 of this week's show. Part 2 will come along tomorrow. Before I go, thanks again, Fish Bum Outfitters, Carrot Sticks Rods, Southern Yankee Baits, War Dog Lures, Northern Michigan Outfitters, Hooked on Canadian Angling, my tournament partner Jason, my wife, and my son. Set those hooks, keep those lines tight.